zoom in. So this is a lot about trial and error. So if you think, pardon me if I'm doing something wrong. So I'm just trying here and there, and I'm just getting used to this new computer that David just got. So yeah, so this will be darker a bit, and then we have the eye here, and the eyebrows. So right here and right now, I'm just testing the colors again to see whether they fit. And then when we go on the full, yeah, we just adjust it based on that. What's his color of his earphones now?
Oh, okay. So his colors of his earphones are actually, if I recall, should be.
Hey! Oh, Stratosphere is here. Okay, so I'm the art intern. I'm doing a little bit of the concept art here right now. So yeah.
Give me a second.
Yep, it's beat. So I'm just figuring out how it goes. So I'm just doing a color script, like a color script. I'm basically doing thumbnailing right now, just to test out the colors. I was talking about using the navigator too, because you can see from far, you can see from close, to see how the colors match. So the next one we have is beating, and I'm just gonna go very closely to. I'll use him as a warmer color then. Yeah. So all these are just trial and error.
Okay, so his headphones are actually kind of yellowish golden.
Okay, can. So I'm using a very soft brush right now to color in. Yeah. I'm gonna let the orange pick up.
Hey, Stratosphere. Hi.
So I'm gonna brighten this.
You need to look at his color, the headphones.
Okay, I got it. I think the green is not really nice, so maybe I'll push it a bit to the blue to get a little bit more. We are testing out 2 samples actually, so I'll just let you guys take a look at the samples. So let me open it up first. Give me a minute. Okay, so Stratosphere, say hey. Yeah. Okay, so we have 2 samples, 1, and we have 2. So right now, these are just thumbnails. Just testing out the tonality of it. What I'm doing right now is that I resized it to a smaller version to test out their colors and see what kind of colors would fit it. So yeah, we just move on and go to orange. So if you have any questions about how concept art goes about, I'm still a student, so yeah. So just tell me about things that you want to know, or things that you already know that you can give me advice about, or that you might want some advice about that I might know about. So yeah. So if you're interested, just drop me a note. Yeah. Because this is my first time streaming, so I'm not very sure what I'm supposed to talk about either. So yeah. So because they're coming to the front, it doesn't necessarily mean that they need to be. Oh, thanks. How do I get David to hire me? You have to be in Singapore. I don't know whether David. You can ask David himself, I guess. Yeah. I guess David was looking for an art intern, and I happened to saw the advertisement online, so I kind of signed up and I got a job. So yeah. Thanks Stratosphere for saying both is awesome. So makes me feel nice. Yeah. Ro is a bit difficult because she's not exactly blue. So I'm not very sure whether I want to make her blue either. So because if you see the badge itself, it's a little bit more grey white. So maybe we'll make her slightly more a greyish kind of blue. And then we'll see how things goes. So right now there's no detailing, no nothing. When you're doing color script, just go ahead with the flow, the composition. Make sure that everything seems composed, you know, if you understand where I'm getting to. Yeah, make sure all the colors match, and make sure that yeah, thanks. So make sure that it looks like what cast crystals would be. Yeah. So one thing that a lot of people always mistake is that they think that perspective is something created based on light and dark. But that's not necessarily true, because for here you see we have a sunset here. So it's not sensible or it's not accurate to say that we should create light, because you know it's quite logical for us to think that when we see something from afar we think that it's lighter in shade, or you know we think that that thing is supposed to be you know just lighter in a sense. The more technical term to use is that it has a more atmospheric effect to it. So the details are actually blurred. It's not necessary that they are lighter, but more that they are blurred. So you can still use like harsh black, you know. I don't think that's wrong, because when you're standing next to the sunset, you know, it's true that, you know, the closer you are to a brighter light, the darker you are, and the further away, you know, the shadows tend to be less tinged. Okay, that's my personal opinion, but you know, so you just don't need to have to like lighten it. You can just make it seem like it's quite blurred. So yeah, so we are actually lowering the perspective here. So maybe I'll just turn it. So you can add a bit of rim edge to it, all of them. Actually, funny that you said that, because I was debating about whether to put beat in front. So I didn't want to put, you know, I wanted something, you know, that is, because you know when you do art, you want things to be more representative of everyone, and I want every character to have kind of have a front, like a role, and all of them are important, and I didn't really want bit to take such an important, you know, to you know, to take the priority. But I did this based on composition wise, and also the idea that, you know, beat can represent a lot of different things other than just, you know, being fun. He can also represent that sense of leadership, and also a sense of, you know, representing, you know, and his posture is not actually like a very, like what you think beat as, you know, when you see him in pixel form. He's not exactly rigid, you know, he's a bit loose, a bit more fun, a bit more, you know, like a, you know, he's a bit more bouncy, a bit more like a child, you know, having fun. And you know, so that was a little bit of a tweak to Beat's kind of visual characteristics that you might kind of assume when you see it based on pixel form. So I kind of took it out of the box to make him look a little bit more alive, in a sense, yeah, so that he can be more representative and more all-rounded, I guess. So David especially requested that Beat has to have his earphones, and so we have to do his earphones. So it's a bit more beigey orange. So we'll see how things goes. So yeah, it's a bit hard. You know, one thing nice about Illustrator, if you have used Illustrator compared to Photoshop, is that the space around you, the workspace, can actually be used in Illustrator. So you can drag your stuff out and then, you know, do your stuff. But it's not as versatile as Photoshop, as in like how you paint and all that. It's quite difficult to achieve the same kind of Photoshop effect. So I can't drag the picture out, so I have to lower the opacity and yeah, and then paint over it, and then kind of assume that the color is what I want the color to be. So again, this is a very, very sketchy version, and we'll color it in as we go along. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah. So actually, because it's the modern era, so I want to make Beat more of a current, and not just make him like you know, stereotype him. You know, I want to kind of show that he has, you know, he's fun and he's okay. In some ways, there's a stereotype, but you know, yeah, just to kind of bring him off the box. Okay, so Ro has some face. So I'm not very sure whether you guys are happy with the. I will, hopefully. Most likely, I'm the art intern, so I will be tasked to do the different kind of stages, create new characters, and I'll bring in my animation background. I am actually majoring in fine arts and animation, so I'll bring in these backgrounds that I have. So as I was talking about color script just now, if you guys love like Pixar movies and all that stuff, you can go Google color script and just take a look at how people actually plan out the colors and how they, you know, see what's good and what's not good, you know, based on colors itself. So we call them colorists, you know. So yeah, I am going to do the art. Okay. So I tend to throw off, so if you don't like it, just tell me. Okay, so yeah. So doing two things at a time is quite difficult. So yeah. So I don't know if you can see clearly, but their eyes are a bit funny right now. We try to make him, so David wanted a line drawing, so I have to make them a little bit more alive in a sense, you know, a bit more realistic. So yeah, we'll see how things goes. Okay. So one thing that a lot of I don't know, art would kind of recommend is that never really use black, never really go to 0000, because it's not something that you really want to go until you are at the end, or when you are really trying to create that contrast. If not, try to avoid it. Even if you see, like, for example, pupils, right? For example, Rose pupils, it's not black, it's gray, and I can go a little bit darker, but I'll try to avoid it, to go too much towards black, because it's a very strong contrast, and in the painter's kind of ideology, it kills colors, so you don't want to kill the color when you are doing a color script itself. So yeah, so we're just gonna do very rough, so I think we're almost gonna be done with it. Yeah, so orange, I'm not a fan of the color orange because it's a very tricky color. Give me a minute, I'll check that out. Okay. Alright. Canvas cycle. Interesting. No, but I have seen them on Pinterest, and I think it's a really good link, so I'll keep it, because I think it'll give me my inspiration for other stages that David might want me to create. It looks really good though. Really like how they compose the whole thing. I'm not sure whether you can see it, but I don't think you can see it, right? No. But I'm scrolling through, looking at Aquarius, the mirror pond. Wait, let me see what I can add in. Can I add? Can I add like my internet window?
Oh, yeah, sure.
If not, they can't see you. Like what?
Okay. Okay, just add. Sure. Okay, we'll use. Yeah, which one was it?
Yeah, canvas cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I want to toggle back, how do I toggle back?
Oh, okay. You can just. Move down.
Okay, so I just move it back up again. Okay, so I'm gonna move it up. Okay, so I'm just getting used to it. So black is the absence of color, so having something like